no sound. Oh, I'm not plugged in.
There you are.
I'm plugged into the wrong.
4. We'll restart.
Now we're recording. Don't talk about your beliefs or philosophies. Embody them. Friends and grasshoppers, this is the Formless Podcast, episode 118, with Tyler, the superhuman, and me, Dustin. How goes it?
It's good. Yeah, it's really good. Never get tired of that opening. Friends, grasshoppers.
Heck yeah.
This is the Formless Podcast.
You know, I
I love it.
I get a little goosebumps when that happens, when I read that out loud, or the hair stands up on the ends of my arm. Like, just get excited. I get excited. And I'm excited today. We got some good stuff to talk about today.
Always a good time.
So, I'm a terrible planner.
Okay.
Like I'll get a rough idea, right? Or like for teaching class, I'll be like, okay, I want to go over these 3 points, whatever, these 3 random things. And then I just fill in the gaps. Like I can't seem to sit still long enough to like write everything out. And sometimes I say a lot of things off the cuff. And a couple weeks back, this is all leading up to the start of today's topic. So a couple weeks back, I'm teaching this kid who's a little bit quiet. And when people are quiet and they don't engage with me, I have a hard time. Like I'm trying to get a feel for you, right? Like, so if I'm talking to you and you're talking back to me, I can gauge like if you're interested or not interested, or if we need to change the subject or whatever, any myriad of different things. But I need that engagement back. And this kid is like a statue. He's just not
giving you anything.
Yeah, not giving me any feedback. So I press on. Like I'm just going to go a little harder, right? Like we keep trying. And I'm trying to explain to him something like I'm trying to explain why we're doing this technique this way, right? Like okay, we talk about blocks and counters and stuff like that. Like when you punch at my head, I block and I counter at the body, or vice versa.
Right. Okay.
And I'm trying to explain to him like it's all of the attentions at one point, and we're going to bring the attention somewhere else, and then we're going to swap that and keep swapping it. And I go, and in the midst of talking to him about this, I said it's like a 3-card Monte trick, and he just looked at me blankly. Like he had no idea what I was talking about. And so I'm like, 3-card Monte. You got 3 cards, 2 of them are black, 1's red, and you're trying to find the red card, and I'm swapping around. It's like the old movie trope where like guys, the small town guys in like the big city, and you got like the people hawking stolen goods on the corner, and then the guy's like talking and got the cards on the table and he's playing the game. He had no clue what I was talking about. So I was like, okay, forget it. But anyway, the 3-card Monte trick, for those of you that don't know, it's basically 2 players. You got 3 cards. One of them's red. The other 2 are black. And you're trying to pick the red card, and they shuffle them. They're face down, and the guy moves them around the table. And then you pick the card. And if you get the red card, you win the money. If you don't, then you lose your money. But the trick is that you don't realize the dealer's got a 4th card palmed in his hand. Mm-hmm. So even if you pick the right card, you're going to lose. It's a scam. Right? It's a trick. Well, that got me thinking about different tricks. There's a famous MMA match, Derek Lewis and another guy. Derek Lewis gets hit in the liver, and he fakes getting hurt, right?
Ooh.
Like he's going to go down.
Okay.
And just as he's about ready to put his knee down, that guy that hits him comes rushing in, and he stands up and gives him an uppercut and wins the fight.
Ooh.
Right? Well, that got me on this whole roller coaster of like looking up different tricks, different strategies.
Yeah.
And the most famous one, which I didn't think of, which has some historical context, is the Rumble in the Jungle fight with George Foreman and Muhammad Ali. It was 1974, October 30th. So we're on November 1st right now. We're pretty close to that.
So that was like 49 years ago?
Sure.
Something like that.
I'm going to go with that.
Yeah.
I'll go
like 49 and some change, right? Because
Yeah.
1974. No, so 51. So it'd be 51
years ago. Wow.
Anyway. Yeah.
So that, I think, is the one of the pinnacles of deception. And like George Foreman came into that fight as this like unstoppable wrecking machine. He was 40-0, 37 knockouts. He was just crushing everything that stood in front of him. And you got like, I can only imagine the ego that he must have had at that point.
Yes.
Like for the last, up until that fight, for the previous 5 years, not one of his fights lasted longer than 3 rounds. So
Human wrecking ball.
yeah, he was just destroying people.
Mm-hmm.
So he must have like, can you imagine?
Going
like
up
you just
against
can't
him?
lose.
Yeah.
No, like put yourself in his shoes for a minute. Like you are unstoppable. Everyone that you've faced, you just crushed. 40-0, 37 knockouts. Like you're just putting people to sleep left and right. Right?
Yes.
Like at a certain point, you got to begin to believe your own hype.
Right.
Right? Like even the most humble person, I would think, would just be like, dang, I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would hope that I would, if I was ever in those types of shoes, that I would maintain a certain degree of humbleness. But in all honesty, I don't know that I could be. I think that like I would believe that I don't stink. You know what I mean?
Right.
At a certain point, like maybe after 25, 30 knockouts, like I'm pretty dang good.
Yeah.
You know,
it's gonna be, you're gonna have a hard time fighting off that ego.
Yeah.
If you even want to try to fight it off. But yeah, no, I mean that many, would you say 37 knockouts?
37 knockouts, 40-0. You're just crushing people.
Yeah.
And people have to be scared to fight you. Mm-hmm. Right? Like
your skills go before you.
Yeah.
The next person, that 35th person is like, man, he's knocked out 34 people before me. Am I going to be 35?
Yeah. So if you haven't seen this fight, it's on YouTube. Uh-huh. It's only like 30 minutes long and some change. It lasts 8 rounds. Okay, they did it in what's now called Congo, Africa, but it was at the time it was Zaire. George Foreman is a heavily favored to win. I don't remember the odds, but they're all in his favor. Everyone thinks he's going to win. The president of Zaire bets on Foreman. Ali's doctor gives Ali not even a 10% chance that he could win.
Wow.
His coach, his trainer, the media, everyone is favoring Foreman. I think the only person that thought he could win was Ali. Now, Ali was a big mouth. He liked to talk. He liked to get in people's head. And I think it was all part of his strategy and his game. But he claimed that he was going to beat George Foreman in 8 rounds. There was at the time, there was a little love between the two of them. These guys were, I don't think that they hated each other, but they were definitely rivals.
Competitors,
yeah,
rivals.
yeah, like they weren't going to pull punches, right?
Yeah.
But the 3-card Monte trick that Ali played started before they even got into the ring. First of all, it was all the press conferences. Ali's talking trash, trying to get in Foreman's head, putting a seed of doubt there, right? For any trick to play off, you got to put some prep work in. Mm-hmm. You've got to put that time in. You got to build a strategy. So I've never been to Africa. I don't know. Have you ever? I mean, I know you've been all over the place.
I've never been to Africa.
Okay. Yeah. I've never been to Africa either. But it's a humid place. And where they were fighting, the humidity and the heat played a pivotal role in this. I want to say, I'm not 100% sure. I know they fought early in the morning because of the time difference. It was filmed live. And so for them to show the American audiences at a decent time, I think they fought, I want to say at like 6 o'clock in the morning, maybe 8 o'clock in the morning. It could have been earlier. I can't remember right now. But they fought early in the morning. And even at that early time, it was like 80, 85 degrees with nearly 100% humidity.
You can see in the video.
Yeah.
They're just already sweaty. Yeah.
Yeah. Even at the beginning of the fight.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So Ali started training like in a sauna, basically. He was doing sparring and stuff and high, like just to acclimate himself to that temperature.
Oh.
Okay. He's getting used to that heat and that humidity and trying to prep for the bout. He showed up to the fight early, felt the ropes. This is where the rope-a-dope comes into play. So what he ended up doing, and even his coaches and his trainers are like, when the fight started, he's going up against the ropes. And as Foreman's hitting Ali, he's letting those ropes catch him as he falls back, trying to take off some of that power that Foreman had. But there's a little more to that, right? So we got the heat, we got the ropes, we got early morning, we got the crowd who's favoring Foreman at first because he's the champ. He's the favored to win
by, like you said, a lot.
I don't remember the odds, but if you were a betting person, you most likely would have bet on Foreman. That's the safe bet, right? So one of the things, I mentioned earlier, he's getting in his head, right? He's trying to get in Foreman's head. The press conferences, he's talking trash. That was a staple of Ali. He was the greatest at that, I think, probably. He was also one of the first ones to do it. But they get into the match, and Ali's tying him up. You know, they're grappling, and he's whispering in his ear or yelling in his ear. Is that all you got, George? I thought they said you were a puncher. You know, that didn't hurt, George. That didn't hurt. What do you got? Come on. George is hitting him as hard as he can. And in fact, George is quoted after the fight. He admitted saying, I hit Ali as hard as I could with everything I had. And I thought I was winning until I woke up on the canvas. So all through this, George Foreman's bought this hook, line, and sinker.
Like, I've got this in the can.
I've got this in the can.
He's already knocked out.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think they predicted that Ali would fall in 3 rounds. Now, remember, George The previous 5 years, all of his boxing matches for the previous 5 years didn't go past the third round. So he was just crushing dudes left and right. Ali's not going down. And if you watch the fight, he gets hit a few times, pretty good. But for the most of he spends the majority of the fight against the ropes or trying to tie up George Foreman. Ali's coach, his corner man, his cut man, all of these people are yelling at Ali, like, what are you doing? Have you lost your mind? Like, you've got to do something. You can't just stay in front of him and get hit. You're going to go down. They're freaking out. Ali says, I know what I'm doing. Leave me alone, basically. Like, I got this. And around the 6th or 7th round, I think you hear an announcer say something to the effect that he's letting Foreman punch himself out. And that's exactly what happened. About the 4th or 5th round, you really start to see Foreman get tired. He's barely able to hold his hands up. He's throwing punches, and they're bombs, but they're not like round 1 or 2 bombs. They lack the power that they had. And eventually, he tuckers himself out, and Ali takes him out with a 3-piece combo in the 8th.
It all of a sudden just comes out of nowhere.
It's like out of nowhere.
He's like getting beat, and you're like, okay, George Foreman looks tired. But he's still got Ali against the ropes. And then all of a sudden it just switches, like boom.
Like a light switch.
Yeah.
Off to on. And I think that like the trick in there, like all the way up until the last possible second, George is the victim here, and he doesn't realize it. Right?
Yeah.
He's the victim.
He's the victim.
He's getting played, and he doesn't know it until the last possible second. And then bang. Yeah. There's the switch. And like you've had a trick played on you, right? The best tricks you never see coming. And it takes careful planning to do something like that, but you have to have like 100% commitment. Because if you're in doubt, like if you're Muhammad Ali and you're in doubt and you're getting pummeled and you're going against the ropes, and you know those had to hurt. Those shots he was taking, even if he was getting 40% of that power taken away by coming against the ropes, it still had to hurt.
Yeah. Yeah.
George is bigger. George has more power. George is younger. He's like, it still has to hurt. So you got to like, he's talking trash, right? Like, oh, come on, George, that didn't hurt. Is that all you got? I thought you could punch. Come on, George. You're going to get tired, George. Like all of that on top of it. And then it still hurts. Like the amount of, like, you got to believe that plan's going to work, right? But you also have to have, like, there's something else there that you got to hold on to, right? Like, I don't know how confident could you be if because George is swinging for the fences.
Yeah.
Every shot he's trying to kill Muhammad Ali. Like, how long can you take that and still have the confidence that your trick's going to work?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because then you just in Muhammad Ali's mind, he might start saying, "Oh man, I don't know, like,
yeah,
like I'm getting tired now." Like, he had to wait until the last
possible second. 8 rounds.
8 rounds. And so Muhammad Ali even said, he's like, I'm going to take him out in 8 rounds.
Yeah, he predicted it. And that was a kind of a trademark of his. He's got all sorts of rhymes about so-and-so's going down in 3. You're going to go to sleep in 6, all of this stuff. And he was very much a called kind of guy. There's stories about Muhammad Ali. And one guy, I can't remember his name right now. One guy, he got in his head so much. He followed, they were like doing a press tour. This is a side note, of course, but they're doing a press tour. I want to say it was Joe Frazier. I can't remember, but he got in this guy's head so much. They're at a hotel and is it George Frazier? Joe Frazier? Smoking Joe? I think it was Smoking Joe Frazier. He's with his group, his trainers and his doctor and everything, and they're headed out to a bus to go to the next town to do this press tour. And Muhammad Ali's standing outside his bus talking crap, talking trash, right? Trying to get in his head. And just hammering on him. And Joe Frazier, I want to say it's Joe Frazier. I might be wrong. I hope I'm not. Anyway,
whoever it was.
It's important though, because he pulls out a gun and fires it into the air. And the crowd goes, whew, they just scatter. And Muhammad Ali's hightailing it out of there. So, like, he was a master at getting into your head and making you doubt, right?
Wow.
Like, he could play the mind game. And I think that's just as important as the physical game.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because he's got you thinking about something else, and then he's punching you while you're thinking about this other stuff.
Yeah, he's saying, is that all you got?
Yeah.
Is that all you got,
Can you
George?
imagine? Yeah.
Is that all you got? And he's thinking 2-3 steps ahead.
That's where the strategy comes into play. That's where the 3-card money comes in, right?
And George was the victim.
George is
for the
victim.
whole fight. He didn't even know.
Before the fight even started.
Yeah.
He's talking crap the whole time at all the press conferences. You know, they do the big press tours to build interest and to make money. You want sold out seats, right? If there's nobody there to see it, all of the talk isn't going to work.
Yeah.
So this goes on. They're in the fight. The whole time the fight's happening, he's talking the trash. And he had to wait until those punches didn't feel so, like, as soon as the power came out of those punches, right? Like, it probably happened in fits and spurts. It wasn't all of a sudden. He's like, oh, that one was weak. That one was weak. Oh, bam. That one hurt. Okay. We got to go a little bit longer. We got to take a few more shots here.
And then,
right?
and then all of a sudden there was a knowing that he had. A
moment happened
where he was like, oh, now is the time to strike.
Yeah. Now it's time.
Man, and like for Muhammad Ali to see that, like for him, for all of his trainer, his doctor, his assistants, everything, for everybody to say like
you ain't got a shot.
You ain't got a shot. And he's like, yeah, I got this. Like,
yeah.
He must have saw something in George, whether it was watching his fights or even in his character. He saw something at some point. He saw, or maybe it was just over a span of time where he was feeling the guy out. Had they fought before that?
I don't believe so.
So that was their first time.
I believe that was their first time. And I could be wrong.
It probably was, but it may not have been. Like, he must have seen something in the way George, his character, his stance, his game, his fighting style, that he was like, there's the crack right there.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's a unique
and I'm going to
talent.
exploit that.
Exactly. But also, there's this thing that happens, right? When we're sparring. Excuse me. There's this thing that happens, like, I don't know if you've experienced this. You probably have. But like you throw a combination, okay? And somebody interrupts that combination, right? You throw like a 3-shot combo. And in the middle of those 3 shots, you get hit what happens to your combination?
It just falls apart.
Falls apart, right?
Yeah.
And the more that happens, the more it falls apart.
Yes.
Right? And there's this certain battle of wills that takes place. And I think that like in there somewhere, whether you're grappling or you're sparring or you're fighting, the more interruptions to your chain of thought or your combination or whatever you got going on, the harder it is to get back up from that.
Yeah.
And I think if you're tired or if you're hurt or if your mind is somewhere else, at least in my shoes, for me, the easier it is for that to fall apart.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if I'm not 100% or if I'm worried about something else outside of what I'm doing right there, if I'm not 100% present, it's a house of cards. But if I'm focused, if I'm 100% focused and I'm in that moment, it's much more strong. It's much more sturdy.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, but you're sweating to death. It's hot. You're punching your guts out, right? You're just exhausted.
The pressure of the crowd.
And they're booing you.
Yeah.
This guy's talking crap. You're hitting him as hard as you can. And he's like, is that all you got? Oh, that didn't even hurt. Come on, George. The holes must have just been getting bigger by the second.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
And he, watching that video, the highlight video that I watched,
yeah,
it looks like Muhammad Ali, like he's taken a lot of blows, right?
Oh, yeah.
Against the ropes.
Even the announcers are like, there's no way he can come back from this, or he's got to be getting hurt now. You know, they're like it. Just seeing it, if you watch it without any sound on, it just looks like he's getting the crud.
He's losing. Yeah. One thing that I noticed while watching it is he looks, even though he's taking a lot of blows, he looks relaxed.
Yes.
He's very much like, he's just he was just waiting for that moment until he's like, yep, those last 3 punches weren't very strong.
Focused.
Now is the time. And he was just very relaxed, very much receiving, but giving some back.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there was a little back and forth.
There was,
but the overwhelming majority of the fight, it's George Foreman doing the most of the action is on George's side.
Yeah.
And he's just letting, he's just waiting and seeing. I'm just going to be patient. Just going to let this happen.
He never looked rattled to me.
No.
And
there were a couple of shots that got through.
Oh, for sure.
He got hit. He got rocked a couple of times, but the vast majority of those weren't as effective as they should have been.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just
and a lot of time those blows from the camera's angle, they look a lot more like, "Ooh, that was a good one." But on the person, it was like, well, yeah, I mean, it was just more of a glancing blow. It was just the camera angle.
Yeah.
So some of those blows look like they may have landed, and some of them may have landed very, very effectively, and some of them may have just looked like they were effective. But regardless, there were a bunch that got. I mean, it's like it was pretty much a one-sided fight. It seemed.
It looks like it. And to the untrained eye, or to the first viewing of it, if you didn't know any of the history behind this fight, you would look at it and be like, well, yeah, George Foreman's crushing this. This is going to go out any second now. This thing could be over. And it probably could have been. One misstep by Muhammad Ali
could have
been lights out.
I mean, that's
what makes boxing exciting, right? You never know what's going to happen next. That's what makes martial arts exciting. You never know what's going to happen next. And I think that's one of the things that makes, at least for me in my shoes, that's what makes me fascinated by it, because there's so much chaos there that you just have, anything could happen. But the strategy that he plays like that, it's just, could he done that again? Could he repeat the same trick? Not on George, probably.
Not on George. On another one, maybe
somebody else.
Maybe.
But
I mean, he essentially played Foreman as that human wrecking ball that was just putting, like you said, putting people to sleep. And so he just played him and just kind of like as George is, moving forward, Muhammad Ali's moving back. And he's just stepping, and he's essentially kind of playing counter fighter in a way.
In a way, yeah.
A long counter fighter game. An 8-round counter fighter game.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point. I never thought of it like that.
He's like, I'm waiting. And no, I've found myself a lot of times in sparring.
Yeah.
Where you sparring someone and you start to see patterns, right? You start to see patterns. And we've talked about this before. And you pick out certain patterns on certain people. And I've tried to analyze myself, like, okay, what are my patterns? Like, what do I do? And I always go back to, like, a side note, what Sensei Blue said that one time in the seminar we had. Sensei Blue said, if I have an idea, if I have a plan of what I'm going to do, like a combination I'm going to do, he's like, I believe that I am subtly communicating that to my opponent as like somehow. And have you, like, to go kind of like even deeper into that, have you ever, maybe this has happened with you and your wife or you and your children or something, but have you ever looked, okay, so like say you're looking at a piece of art on a wall or something, or a statue, or you're walking in the park. Let's just say you're walking in the park and with your wife or one of your children, and you think to yourself, man, what a gorgeous day, and look at all, and you see the pond, you're like, man, those are some really, really, really pretty ducks on the pond.
Yeah.
And then your wife says, man, it's such a really pretty day, and look at those ducks.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had that happen where I'm thinking something and somebody says exactly what I'm thinking after that. Now, I don't know what that is. Maybe the mirror neurons in our body that communicate that. But I think there's something like that, so that if you think, like, I'm going to do this combo, this combo, this combo, that maybe you're like somehow that's being communicated to your
I could see that. I could see that for sure.
Like, and so, but like Sensei Blue said, if I have a plan, he's like, the best way that I know how to do it is, he's like, you go in and you just experience. You're experiencing it. You've trained so much that you're doing it as you go. You're not like thinking.
You're not like writing notes out to yourself about like how you're going to go into this.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to step forward and I'm going to front punch, then uppercut, then jab, like.
So I've told the story on the podcast before. I think I was sparring. I was about, I don't know how long. I'd probably been training like 4 or 5 years at this point, pretty consecutively, and sparring, having a good time. And I had like a couple of combinations that I'd like to use in my back pocket that worked for me. And at this point, up until this point, they're working. And so I just rinse and repeat, right? Just keep on using them. Bang, 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 bang. Well, this guy comes in and at the school, people come and people go.
Right.
And like, some people stick around, some people stay for a long time. Some people are here for a few weeks and they're gone. They go somewhere else. They do something different. It's just part of life. And that's another topic we could experience. We can go over one day. But anyway, so I've got this sparring combo that I have like 2 or 3 of them that I've got. Like, I polish these dudes down, and they're just rinse and repeat, like I said. So I'm sparring with this new guy, and I don't even remember his name anymore. I can't remember who it is. we spar. I go into my combo, and he stops me solid. And it was almost like I wrote him a letter and told him exactly as what I was going to do.
Really?
Yeah. It was I can't even remember the combination now, but it was like a punch, kick, and another punch. And then like back out and rinse and repeat. Do the same thing over again. Almost verbatim. Almost like the exact same thing. So I do this thing, bang, bang, bang. And he stops me dead in my tracks, gives me a little hit, backs out. Excuse me. And I'm like, what the heck just happened? And this guy hadn't been training with us for very long. Maybe a couple of weeks, maybe a month, tops. But he'd had some experience other places. And he had some more experience than I did. He was a little older than I was, I think. So I go in and do it again. And I'm like, I'm going to get him this time. Doesn't work. Thumps me. Oh, it's almost a carbon copy of the first interaction. And I back up. And this is how bright I am. I'm like, well, he can't do it a third time. I do the same exact thing. Same combo. 1, 2, 3. Stops me dead in my tracks. Hits me. Backs up. And he's kind of like, at this point, he's smiling. Like, are you going to do the same thing again? And we get ready to go into this clash again. And I'm like, I'm
Your
totally...
script had been interrupted.
My script's interrupted. I don't know what else to do, but I'm going to do the same exact thing.
You're like, I'm going to make this work.
Because I don't have anything else, right? And I'm like, I bear down and I'm going to really get him now. And then we break and we swap partners. But that messed me up so bad that the rest of the day, like the rest of that class, I couldn't make anything happen. I couldn't make anything work. So we sparred, we're rotating around, changing partners and all this stuff. The end of class happens and I go up to Blaine, Sensei Court, and I'm like, okay, here's what happened. Here's what I did, and it didn't work. Like, what happened? And he kind of gives me a little answer, and I'm like, that's not what I wanted. Like that was, so I bought private lessons and I sat down with Blaine and I'm like, okay, here's my combination. Here's what happens. This works all the time. And now it's not working. Fix it. Right?
Yeah.
Like I paid you for this, you know? And he's like, you're going about this the wrong way. And it was a lesson I hadn't learned yet. The whole experiencing and expecting. He's like, just because something works doesn't mean it's always going to work. And if you go in expecting the outcome, what do you do when it doesn't work? And I'm like, well, that's what I'm here for. That I don't know. Right? Yeah. He's like, you got to get rid of that preconceived notion. You got to get rid of that. It's not to say you shouldn't have a plan. Have a plan, but don't be so set in that plan that if things go awry, you don't know what to do next. That was big for me. That was an eye-opening thing. And there's a dichotomy. Like, you can't just go in with no plan.
No, you can't. Yeah. It's
right?
Like how do you reconcile the two things of like
exactly
having a plan but not having a plan? Like
there's a balance. You can't be so dedicated to the plan and so written out that if one thing goes wrong, you can't follow it to the next step. So instead of doing that, excuse me.
That's a better way of putting it, because I think Sensei Blue, he said close to what you said, which is you need to have a plan, but you don't want to be so glued to it that because then you'll communicate it to you and your opponent in some way.
And you look at like life. How often are things black and white?
Yeah.
There are a lot of things that are black and white. The light switch is either on or it's off. The light bulb works or it doesn't.
Right.
But there are other things.
The car turns on or it doesn't.
Yeah. But there are other things that there's a lot of gray areas. And sparring, fighting, defending yourself, sport fighting, whatever you want to do, there's a lot of gray areas. And sometimes that plan, that 3-piece combo that you've got down in your back pocket works. But when it doesn't work, you better have a backup.
Yes.
Right? You better have another strategy to involve. You got to be able to look around the corners, see in the dark, flip things on its ear once in a while. And so back to this private lesson that I'm having with Blaine. He's like, okay, think about it this way. Instead of thinking about where you're going to fit this puzzle piece in, this 3-piece combo that you've got. I like to name that after food. 3-piece combo.
Okay. 3-course combo.
Yeah.
3-course.
3-piece chicken and fry.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah.
So instead of trying to like find a spot for this puzzle piece, instead of that, why don't you look for an opening? Find a hole in their defense and then put that in there. Because otherwise, you're just going to rattle this 3-piece off
to no effect.
You got to have an opening, or you got to make an opening first, right? So like those kinds of things. There's a whole bunch of other stuff you could do. I mean, there's tons of books on strategy and tactics and all of that. But I was viewing the scope of sparring. I was viewing through like a microscope. Mm-hmm. My vision was like pinpoint. And I missed all of the other stuff on the outside of that field of view. And to bring it back to the rumble in the jungle, right? Let's bring it back to that rumble in the jungle. You're the heavily favored fighter. You're crushing people left and right. I hit, you go down, right? That's the mindset.
He just knows that.
I'm going to punch you in the face and you're going to fall down and go to sleep. That's my plan in a nutshell. I'm going to hit him. I'm going to move. I'm going to do some different things. But ultimately, I'm going to hit you. You're going to go to sleep. That plan, obviously, if you look back at the video in history, it didn't work. There was probably no backup plan. There was no itinerary. There was, I'm punching you, you go to sleep. Mm-hmm. That's it. Mm-hmm. Ali had a plan that played to that. Right? What if I let him punch me until he can't punch me no more? What if I let him gas himself out in this heat and this humidity? What if he gets tired? How much gas does he have in this tank? Right? How many shots can he hit me with at 100% before they start getting weaker? And rounds 3, 4, 5, you see that happening. Foreman's arms are getting tired. They're getting heavy. He's puffing and huffing. And he had to see that go. It's starting to work now.
Yeah.
It's starting to work. But did Ali have a backup plan? I don't know. Did he have was it fast and loose, or was it fairly stringent? That's my question. What was he going to do? How far was he going to take this? They had 15 rounds. That's what it was scheduled for, 15 rounds. And it went 8. Was he going to change that strategy if like round 9, 10, 11, it's not working yet? Was he just going to hold on to that until, hey, this has got to start to work sooner or later?
I was thinking the same thing, like while you're talking, like not to interrupt, but yeah, like there had to have been a point, you just imagine that Muhammad Ali, like almost started panicking. There just had to be like a point where he was like, "Whoops, am I going to stick to this plan?" Like, every great story has that where a fighter or somebody, movies have doubt. There's got to be a moment of doubt, like, "Oh, do I like?"
Well.
And he probably, that part of him was like, no, just start swinging, change your strategy up. And then the other part of him was like, nope, this is how you're going to win. Yeah.
I don't know. I see what you're saying. I like what you're saying, but like,
I mean, we just don't know.
You don't know. But like, okay, so you got this strategy. You put yourself in Muhammad Ali's shoes. Yeah. You got this strategy. You're going to let George Foreman, probably the hardest hitter in boxing right now at that time, you're going to let him hit you. You're going to let him get tired. Right?
Yeah. Like you're going to let the hardest, what he was like.
The most, at the time, he was probably the most feared man on the planet.
That's your strategy, is to let the most feared man on the planet hit you. Like, until he's tired. Like,
this guy's going to crush your face.
That like on its, up front,
at face value,
that sounds like the dumbest plan. You're thinking, what?
You need to get your head examined.
Yeah, you're gonna get it examined after this.
Like, okay, what do you want at your funeral, buddy?
Yeah. Keep going.
But not only that, like, okay, you got this strategy, and you're like, hey, I don't know about you, but I've had plans where I'm like, oh yeah, this plan's really good. And then I tell everybody and they're like, no, that's not good. Like, that is a dumb thought, right? So he had to talk with his team. He had to talk with his coach, his doctor, his cut man. Like, he had to like get all these people together, right? You're training for a world champion fight. Like, there's people, you discuss strategy, you discuss plan. But it's ultimately him in the ring that's going to play this plan out. Mm-hmm. So could you imagine the meeting that must have been? Yeah, so I'm going to let him punch me until he gets tired, and then I'm going to knock him out.
His trainer is just
his trainer's like, are you okay?
Did we get you examined after the last fight?
Yeah. Are you on drugs? Like, what are you doing? The gall. Like, first of all, you have to have confidence in yourself.
Yes.
He had to be a fairly confident person, and he was. But even confidence is only going to carry you so far. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if I don't know if you could have enough faith in yourself to do that. Like, could I do that? If I put myself in those shoes, could I have enough faith to carry that out on that strategy with the guy who's probably the hardest hitting, toughest man on the planet at this time?
I think, I mean, that is such a ballsy, and when you arrive at that point, that when you get to that point, that what if point, and you say, what if I did this?
Yeah.
And I think right in that moment when somebody says, what if I did this? I think there's like that is like, it's almost like pure truth to yourself. Like, you say, what if I just let him punch me until he punched himself out? And it's almost like that's your enlightened moment, so to speak, your epiphany, where like, and then after that is when your rational mind starts coming in and says, no, that's not going to work. Like, no, I might take a bad blow. Like, I can't, like, this might happen. And then your rational mind talks you out of it. But for that one moment, your mind says, what if? And it comes up with the solution.
Yeah.
Like, what if?
What if I could?
That's good. So he had that. He
must have.
That's what I was saying. Whenever he saw George Foreman in a press conference or saw a fight of him or something, he saw something at one point and he said, that's it. That's what I got to do.
My light switch moment.
My light switch. And there was probably a moment of doubt where like a day or 2 days or a week where he's like, no, that's a really terrible strategy. Like blah, 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 blah. And he could have talked himself out of it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Okay. If I had that kind of a strategy, like I come up with this strategy, I put myself in that guy's shoes, right? I don't know that I would tell anybody.
No, exactly.
Like, because first of all, you don't want any doubt to creep in. But like, at a certain point, you kind of need to like get a gauge for how crazy is this idea. Right?
Yeah.
Like, because we've all had crazy ideas. And some of them are great. And some of them are legitimately crazy ideas. So who do you talk to that's going to give you an opinion that's going to be unbiased? Right?
Well, I don't think there is any unbiased.
Yeah.
It's all biased. Everything. Even the most person who says, "Oh, I'm objective and unbiased," it's going to be tailored to their own bias.
Exactly.
Under the cover of unbiased.
Yeah. But like, okay, he tells his loved ones, "This is my strategy." They don't want him to get hurt.
No.
They're his loved ones.
No.
Right? They're going to be like, "No, that's dumb. Don't do that." Okay, you can't tell them. I'm going to tell my trainer.
Yeah.
Who's got financial incentive for me to be good. He wants me to box as long as I can. I can't tell him. Mm-mm. He's going to try and convince me of something else. So like, who do you go to? Who do you tell? Do you just have this whole inner dialogue with yourself?
Like who?
Yeah. Where do you go with that?
I think that comes down to like trusting and faith and just like choosing the right people. Cause like, I know, for example, when I have those things and I'm like, well, who do I take this to? And then if I say, oh, I'm going to take it to this person. And then I start going through the past of like, when I've talked to this person, like, oh, this is how they're going to respond. And they're going to say this. And then you're like, oh, it's tailored to their own personal experience and blah, 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 blah. So like, I start thinking how they're going to respond, and maybe that's good or not. I mean, I think it's both good and not, because then I'm expecting, because you might go to that person and they give you the response you were expecting, or you might go to them and they're like, no, like, and they give you like some totally different perspective that's more encouraging.
Yeah.
Like Muhammad Ali goes to his trainer and he's like, okay, my trainer, he says to himself, well, my trainer is going to say this. I've known my trainer for, 10 years. He's going to say this, 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 and this, and he's going to want this. And then maybe he goes to his trainer or somebody in his close circle, and they're like, no, like, that's a good idea. And he's totally surprised that they changed their opinion. But yeah, who do you go to? Like, who do you
go to? Well, and I mean, that's a definitely like, you're not leaving anything on the table.
No.
Right? That's a very
Commitment.
high risk, very high commitment. You're betting with your life. Basically, like, right? You're
literally, I mean, he's literally betting, like, he could have gotten
hurt
brain damage
or killed,
yeah.
or any number of different things happen. But yeah, holy cow. Like, there's that is so cool.
Yeah.
Like, you could say what you want about him as a person, but to have that, the belief
faith
in himself, the faith in himself, the like, I'm going to risk it. I'm throwing it all on the table, and we're going to see how this plays out.
It's either win or lose.
Yeah. And like, okay, could he have a second, like a backup plan? If this doesn't go right by like the fourth round, I'm going to change up.
He probably did. He probably had a backup.
I don't know. Cause like,
okay.
maybe like, okay. I think,
mean, maybe he did.
like,
yeah.
Maybe he did, but I would think like, okay, if I'm going to commit to this, there's no backup. I don't know. Because like
that's like burning the ships, right?
Yeah,
we talked about
that. Yeah, because the first time it hurts, you might go, "Oh, wait a minute,
yeah,
that hurt really bad. Let's change strategies."
Yep.
That's what I would do.
Yep.
Like the first time that hurt really bad, I'd be like, "Oh, okay, yeah, we're gonna do something different." I don't know. Yeah, burn the boats.
Burn the boat. Burn the ships, the bridges.
Burn the boats.
Burn the boats. Yeah. And so like he was like, nope, that's it. It goes back to the moment where he said, well, what if I just let him punch me until I punched him out? And it's those crazy ideas you have. And then you're right, maybe he didn't have a backup plan. He was like, no, that's it. There is no other plan. That's it. Not for George Foreman, not for this fight. Like,
yeah, this is the way it's got to be.
I've got to train in the sauna. I've got a
smack talk.
I got to smack talk. I got to go test out the ropes. I gotta, what is it? I'm sure he did something. He probably, whatever Tyson did. Tyson said, well, wasn't it Tyson that said, if I find my opponent starts training at 3 a.m., I start at 1 or something like that.
Yep.
1 a.m. So he probably had something similar. But and he's like, all that's gonna, and it's, it's funny that all those things add up. They all add up because then when like he gets in the ring, right? Like, and he's against the ropes and he's taking those hits, and there just had to be a moment. I mean, maybe we never know, we never see it, but there had to be a moment where he's like, whoop, do I abandon, like you said, do I abandon
ship?
Do I abandon ship? Do I change up my strategy? And he was probably like, no. And there just had to be a moment where he just like thought through all those little things that he did, he probably remembered an individual moment in the sauna that he trained at in the sauna. And he's like, no, I put in my time there in the sauna. No, I showed up early. I tested out the ropes. No, I was at this press conference talking crap to him, like blah, blah, blah. And it just added up. And he's like, no, I've committed to this point. Like,
yeah.
And that's good. Like you can see it too.
That's cool. That's cool.
Keep going. Don't you got anything?
I just think that like
you've had me on the edge of this whole time. I'm just like, what's Dustin gonna say about this?
So you're taking those shots. You're going against the rope. About the 5th round, you get hit, and it's different than 100% George Foreman. This is like a 85% George Foreman.
Yep.
That must have been the green light, right? Like you got the green light. Oh, he's getting weaker now.
My strategy is going to...
This is working.
Like now bingo. His face strategy went up and he's like, yep, okay.
Yeah, this is working. But not yet.
Not yet, yeah.
Okay, not yet. Wait it out a little longer. That self-control.
Oh, yeah.
That discipline. To be like, oh, we're there. He's getting tired. No, like a little bit longer. Hold. It's like
Braveheart.
Yeah.
Hold the line. Yeah.
Because if you pull up the stakes too soon,
it's all for nothing.
The jig's up.
Yeah.
Right. They got to be on top of you before you pull those stakes up.
Mm-hmm.
If he goes too soon, George Foreman's going to change his strategy.
And he's going to find out.
And
like, he's been playing me.
I'm going to show him my hidden card.
Yeah.
Then the 3-card money tricks up, and I lose my money.
Yeah.
So I got to hold on just a little bit longer. One more round. Round 7 happens. Now he's tired. He can't even hold his hands up half the time. And he's huffing and puffing. Not yet. Hold. Man, I'm an anxious person. If I see something like that, I'm going, right?
Yeah, like it's not yet. He's like, wait. He's like, I could probably do it right now, but nope.
Not yet.
One more round. Just take him out, drain him one more round.
Cow.
Yeah. And then you imagine that moment
Oh,
when he just is like, now.
yeah.
It was probably just like the smallest little voice, just like, now.
Okay.
Bam.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh, man. That's good.
Yeah. How do you hold on?
And especially like when your trainer is screaming at you at the end of every round. Like,
what are you doing?
You're taking all these blows.
Yeah,
like
you're getting killed out there. What are you doing?
I mean, maybe he had no support from his entire corner.
That's where I would have trouble.
Yeah.
That's where I'd have trouble. Right? Like, you've got this strategy. You got this plan. You're going to play this out. And the dudes that are supposed to be helping you are like, dude, stop, change, quit, alto, halt, right?
Yeah.
Freeze, stop. What are you doing? You're getting killed out there.
And he's just shaking his
He's
head
like,
no,
nope, shut up. I got this. Leave me alone. I got this, right? Holy cow.
Yeah. To just to stay the course, like, oh man.
Yeah. Wow. How exciting. How cool could that have been?
That was
Like, whew, you gotta be there is probably very few feelings like that in the world to feel when that worked. When that worked and you see that whole plan come into focus and it paid off. That wasn't just like 20 minutes. That was months of planning. All of these things happen to get set into motion. And you're just waiting and waiting and waiting.
And then
in an instant. And then just like a puzzle, boom, all goes together.
What, cause I'm not like, I don't know exactly a lot of Muhammad Ali after that, but what happened after that? Like, did he go on and there was
a few more fights after that. He fought all the way up until 80.
Okay.
His last fight was not very good. He got beat pretty bad.
But he did have like a couple of, that was like his comeback, and then he had like a good run after that.
He had a run after that. It was 1981, I believe.
Was his last fight.
Yeah.
And but still, like, to have something like that, like,
so that was 6-7 years after that fight, he was still fighting.
That's crazy.
But craziness. What the strategy, the planning, and to have the gall to like see if that's going to go, see if that's going to work. That's risky.
High risk, high reward.
Yes, sir. Well, what do you think?
I'm ready to go out and spar. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Not.
Oh, friends, thank you for joining us today. We hope you appreciated it. We hope you enjoyed that show. If you have questions, comments, concerns for our mental health, please reach out to us at either Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Snapchat. No, Snapchat?
X.
I do have a Snapchat. I have an X. And we also have TikTok. Yes, which we've been posting videos on as well. If you want to see more of us there, you can do that at any of those places. They are all found at the Formless Pod. Scratch that. No Snapchat. I just got to talking ahead of myself there. Sometimes my mouth gets in front of me. We don't have Snapchat, but we have all the other ones. They're all found at the Formless Pod. You can also email us at theformlesspod@gmail.com. We have a website called the Formless Pod where we have our ugly mugs up there, or at least my ugly mug and Tyler's. We have merch, shirts, hats, no swimsuits, banners, coffee mugs, pillows, totes, all that sort of stuff found at theformlesspod.com. Have a wonderful evening.